So I am live. Let me turn up the brightness so I can actually see what is going on. Point you guys like right there. All right, what's up, you guys? This is Edgar from Go Fast RC. Today, I'm live right now because why not? So let me get on my live stream so I can share it. What's up, Texabir? Turn my live stream off right there. I already got 4 people in. I feel special. So today we are going to be working on a couple of cars. I'm going to be working on my mini slash right here for right now. And then after that, I'm going to clean up my X-Max because I took that to the skate park recently and I drove it in some grass and stuff and it was all wet. So yeah, now I'm gonna start working. Got the links up on my Discord. If you guys are interested, I can share the link in the chat and we can start getting to work. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start working on the mini slash because I've been wanting to fix this car for a while now. So we got that guy off. What's up, Sam? What's up, Kitty? What's up, Texa? How's all you guys' day going so far? Oh, back down to 1 person. Man, you need more subs. I agree. I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. But hopefully here in a couple of months I'll be close to 1,000. Then I can start making a little bit of money. Putting that towards the channel, getting new cameras, new cars and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Fam. I gotta say, these little cars right here, they won't die. I've had this car for over 10 years now, and this is the first time I'm replacing shocks. I just recently replaced the hubs. And because they were like wore out, like you could move them a whole bunch. There's a ton of play. So I did that. And then I got these nice aluminum push rods on there. New radio in this thing. Next thing I need to work on after I do the shocks is all this slop in the steering. It's a lot of slop. You need to advertise. Well, on YouTube, if your video gets more than 100 views, then they'll put ads on your video. There's a couple of my videos that have advertisements and stuff on there, but I'm not getting paid for those advertisements because I'm not monetized yet. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, that's when I can start making money off of the ads. But as of right now, I'm just a way for YouTube to put more ads up, get more people watching ads so that they can make money. But, I mean, it's cool. Do what you gotta do to make money. So right now, I'm pretty much just cleaning out the truck so that way it's not super dirty. Because I drove this in the front yard and we got a little bit of dirt in the front yard, so it kind of gets everywhere. Nice. I have 2 Losi Desert trucks. That's pretty cool. I've never owned a trophy truck before. I want to get one, but they are a lot of money. I want to get the Losi Super Baja Ray 2.0. I think that would be a cool truck. But they're expensive. I haven't cleaned my trucks in years. Lol. Dude, I clean my trucks all the time. I always, pretty much as soon as I run them, either right after or the next day, I'll go and clean them off because I hate having dirty cars. Like, majority of my cars up here, if you guys can see, if you saw my T-Max video, you saw how dirty that thing was. I got it all clean now. Then all my other cars. But I'm working on this truck today, the X-Max. Oop, got a little close. It got super dirty. I got a video coming out of that Sunday. I did a couple of really big backflips with the truck, so that was pretty cool. But got dirty, so I'm gonna clean it. And it's not like dust where you can just shoot it with an air compressor and majority of it will go away. It's all that crusty wet dirt that gets stuck on everything. I got one of them for free because I inherited a trade. That's pretty cool. I don't really get rid of my cars, if I'm being honest. I've sold a couple, but I think I've only sold 3 of them. Yeah, I've only sold 3 cars out of my entire time of collecting them, so it's almost like pretty much some of these cars are kind of like an old dog that you have. You don't want to get rid of it because you feel like it's part of the family. Sir Was. What's up, Maddie? Or I don't even know how to say half your guys' names. I butcher most of them. Unless there's something like Greg, then I can do that. So I've had a pretty uneventful day so far. But yesterday, I was with my grandparents at their house, and the power went off at like 5 o'clock. And it gets like super hot here. Like yesterday, it was 108 degrees outside when the power went off. So we came here and we ate dinner, got McDonald's and stuff, ate dinner. And then after that, after we got done eating, it was like 8 o'clock. Or not 8 o'clock, it was like 9 o'clock. We drove back to my grandparents' house to see if the power was on. So, yeah. And by the time we got there, it was like 9:30. Then after that, the power wasn't on and it was super hot in the house. So we drove back here to my house and then we slept over here. So I guess last night was a late night. Didn't go to bed till like 11, which for me, it's super late. Most of you guys don't really know me, but I'm like an old person. I need at least 6-7 hours of sleep for me to have a good day. And I got close to 7 hours, I think. So, yeah. What, are you in Texas? No, I'm actually over here on the West Coast in California. I'm in Bakersfield, California. Well, that's the area that I live in. I live really, really close to Bakersfield. But I know in Texas there's a Bakersfield too, so it's pretty cool. The more you know. I sleep 14 hours. Nice. Nothing quite like a good night's sleep. Yeah. We're pretty far apart. It shouldn't be hot over there. Well, I don't live on the beach because my parents, they went to the beach. That's why I was staying at my grandparents' house. And when they were at the beach, it didn't get hotter than 65 degrees over there. But over here in the Central Valley of the state, it gets really hot, like 110. It's over 100 degrees every single day during this time of the year. So that's why you guys aren't seeing too many videos of me like outside driving because it's so freaking hot around the time that I would start driving. So I don't know exactly how they want us to build these. You're supposed to oil. Lubricate. Okay. So I don't think these shocks have any oil on them. Okay. So these shocks do not have any oil in them at all. Yeah. Over here in California, especially like the high desert, like Death Valley, if you guys haven't ever heard of that, that's like super hot. It gets up to 130 degrees out there, which I'm about 4 or 5 hours away from Death Valley. So, yeah. Gets pretty warm up here. I All right. So, I'm not really seeing any of the usuals in the chat. My uncle is near Death Valley. Well, he's in Lake Tahoe right now. Oh, Lake Tahoe is nice. Like, the weather's super nice up there. 'Cause it's up there in the mountains. I envy your uncle. So, I want to know what you guys have done with RC. Like, have you guys ever built a pair of shocks? Have you guys ever built a kit before? Or do you guys just run them and then once they break, sell them and get a new one? Or I'd be curious to see what you guys like to do with your cars. Because for me, I do everything with the cars. I break them, I bash them, I fix them, I race them. I don't really race them, but I drive them at a track quite often. I have specified track cars and stuff, and I also have a couple of high-end bashers. As some of you guys know, I have the X-Max in there. That truck is not a cheap truck, not even a little. But I also have a couple of really basic cars too. I got a Slash two-wheel drive, a Rustler two-wheel drive, a Stampede two-wheel drive. So I'm not all just super expensive cars. Like this one costs about $200, $230, I think, brand new. Nice. Yeah, most people that I know, because I have a Discord server, just in case if any of you guys are interested in joining that server, meeting a bunch of new people. I can link that in the chat. There's a lot of really cool dudes on there, but oops, what are you doing? I have no idea what I'm doing with these. Okay, there we go. So we can do that. Ow, this hurts my finger. You guys, all right. So you guys want to get the Discord in there? Let me pull up Discord. Invite, copy link, YouTube. All right. Oh dang, we bumped up to 7 people. Nice. Ah, dang it! Come on, dude. Paste. There you go. You should be getting the server right now. Hopefully. I just sent it. There you go. So, yeah, on that Discord, you can do a bunch of RC stuff on there. You got a lot of people that race, got a lot of people that bash, you got a lot of nitro guys, electric. Oh, frick. Filled that up way too much. So, yeah, not going to build these shocks absolutely perfectly, but I'm going to do my best because I don't know why with these shocks, like the bottom seal does not like to go back on once you take it off. I might be taking it off wrong, but I don't know. Because with these shocks, look at this. Look at that. Yeah, it should not be doing that. So that's why I bought these new shocks. Luckily, with this truck, parts are not expensive at all. They're only a couple bucks. So that's why, because I bought a rebuild kit for the shocks, completely took them apart, and then I rebuilt them, put new O-rings in there, new shims and everything, and they worked fine, but then they started leaking out of the bottom. And that was not right. So pretty much I haven't had good suspension setup on this truck in probably years. I joined. Nice. been a while since we gotten new members on there. Probably because I don't really share the thing too often. Should probably do that. There you go. Usually with race shocks, how they want you to build them is get that exploded view on there. You see these O-rings right there where my finger's at, how it breaks off into 3. You're usually supposed to be able to take your bottom cap off right there and put oil or slime on them, or well, not slime, but grease on these, so that way they don't crack or break. And then you get a leak. Usually that's how you're supposed to do these, but I'm looking in here, and it doesn't say anything about that. Well, it does say something about that, but I'm not going to do it because I don't trust these shocks. They're not the greatest shocks in the world, but you're usually supposed to take these apart, put grease or something on the little O-rings in there to keep it from leaking, and then once you do that, you can take out, what am I even doing? You have aluminum shock, so it's kind of hard to disassemble. Yeah, well, sometimes the aluminum shocks are better because they don't strip out as easy. They have better seals on them sometimes. But you never know. Oh god. So yeah, what is the longest time you have owned an RC car? I tell you this. I have had, well, let me get these out really quick. There you go. So let me show you this truck. What we working on? I'm late. So right now, before I get started again, I am working on my mini slash. I'm putting new shocks on it.
Oh, you're live?
Yes.
I'm going to get Phil.
Nice.
You don't want to go?
No, I'm gonna stay live. Work on the truck.
Okay.
Let me know what kind of truck he gets.
I will.
This is my dad. He's a big kid too. He likes to play with toy cars. So, my dad bought me this truck right here, the Losi Mini LST, when I was like 5 years old, and I've had this truck ever since. And I'm 17 now, gonna turn 18 in March. So, that is the longest. This is the oldest truck that I own. And then I didn't own my T-Max as long, but it's just as old as that truck over there. Ah, Curtis. Curtis, you're the man. So right now, my uncle is actually getting a new RC car. He's going to my local hobby shop. He's going to be getting a new RC car. Shout out to UTO Phil. It's always fun getting a new RC car. I'm not exactly sure what kind of truck he's gonna get though. You thought I was 20? I am not 20, dude. I'm barely getting my driver's permit. I'm going to driving school right now to get my driver's permit. I drive, but it's not very legal. Drive these turds all the time, but you don't need a license to operate these bad boys. There you go. So now, apparently this is 40 weight shock oil, which I do not believe. Traxxas shock oil is always like super light. It's because of the beard. Nice. How ironic. I just pulled out my MGT. Why was I thinking the same? Well, Curtis, great minds think alike, dude. Great minds think alike. All right, so one of my favorite things to do in RC is build shocks. I love building shocks. So I love building shocks and diffs. Doesn't really matter what kind of diff it is, gear diff, ball diff. As long as it's a diff, works for me. Yeah, that doesn't feel much. Oh, well, duh. I know why. Didn't set my preload. I have it set up before. It's the mini MGT. Nice. I've been looking at buying like a used LST or something. I think that would be cool to get. A used, not a mini LST, like one of the big boy LSTs. All right. So, prime example of what not to do. You can see it's already leaking. There you go. You can see it's leaking. And that's because I didn't put the grease on the bottom O-rings. So, because I was being lazy, I got to take the shocks apart again. Well, I never actually took them apart, but I got to take them apart, drain out the oil, and then clean everything off and put grease on it. So, don't be dumb like me and be lazy. Build it right the first time. Which, it's not the shock's fault. It's my fault. Because I did it the lazy way instead of actually greasing them. Did it the lazy way and just kind of threw it together. So can't really blame Traxxas for that. So I'm gonna let that drain. Gonna grab my black grease if I can find it. There you go. So you can use something like this, high pressure black grease, or you can use this right here, just regular black grease. It doesn't need to be anything special. Just as long as it's formulated for RC use. If you use like grease that you put on your truck's ball joints, your full-size truck ball joints, and that's probably not gonna work. So you want to make sure when you're doing stuff like this, you use RC specific stuff because you never know what it could do. Sup, Nitro Freak? I used to put water in it. Nice. Kind of just putting stuff together. All right, so I'd taken these shocks apart before and I'd taken off the bottom seal. But when I went to reinstall the bottom seal, it wouldn't seal right. So that's why I was kind of like, I'm not going to take off the bottom seal and grease the O-rings. Should have done in the first place because they were already leaking. All right. Remove the lower shock cap of the body with a small flat blade screwdriver. Slide the shock shaft. Okay, so I got my flat blade right here. Let's see. Is this thing gonna break or is it gonna comply? Oh. All right, so it seems to be working. This is why you build stuff right the first time. Don't be lazy. Okay. So now, let's keep working at this. I'm gonna head out. Gotta go sell a PS4. Use that PS4 money and get yourself a new truck, dude. All right, so I got the seal off. I don't think it's broken or anything. I think I just took it off wrong the first time. Now, let's get some pliers and make myself a quick little tool. So I came up with this hack a little while ago when I was building one of my race cars. Came up with this hack because my uncle, he took our shock shaft tool because he was supposed to put new shock shafts in his Slash, but I don't even know if he's done that yet. But he took that, and when you're building with shocks, you want to use a shock shaft tool whenever you're taking off your shock end, right there. But you don't want to use your pliers, just regular pliers, because you can scratch up the shock shaft, and that can actually, when you scratch that up, you can actually bust your O-rings, and that can cause you to have a leaky shock. So what I do is put some fuel tubing on the pliers when I don't have my shock shaft tool, and I just grip that tightly so it doesn't scratch, and then it just twists off like that. And I'm not scratching shock shaft; it's not slipping in any way. Nice and easy, like that. Pull your lower cap off, slide your piston out, or your shock shaft out, and then boom. You have access to all your internals, which are nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. These things are bone dry. Don't really want to do that. Put that in there. Don't really want to mess up that O-ring. Grab this little picker right here. And just work my way around it. So that way I don't break anything. So all the O-rings were sealed right. They're seated right in the shock body. Just I was lazy and I didn't grease them. Does it say use shock oil or grease? Oh. Lubricate the shock shaft with O-rings. Shock shaft and O-rings with silicone oil. So they want us to use shock oil. I think that's why they gave us such a big bottle. No, I wanted to rebuild my shop. Don't give me ideas. Dude, whatever you want, man. As long as you have fun with it, that's all that really matters. So, bam. If I would have just taken my time the first time and done it right, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd probably already be on the rear end or the front end. There you go. All right. Let's honestly throw that in old shock oil. It's not even that old, it's just taken out of the shock. So yeah, this is pretty much how I've been spending my summer. Sitting at home, watching TV, and working on RC cars. It's pretty much how I wished I would spend my summer. Because I don't really like going places. I'd rather stay home and play with RC cars. Alright, so I know with this shock, it wasn't leaking. It was the other shock. Alright, cool. There you go. So the shock feels nice and smooth now. It doesn't feel tight like it did at first. You just wipe all this excess off right here. Like that. Lubed up all the shocks. Okay, so now let me do this. Let's see. Will this bottom shock cap seat itself? All right. I think it seated itself right. It's not pulling off super easy. Shock feels smooth, so about the only thing I can do other than hope that it works right the first time is put that together and then hope that it works right. All right, Nitro Freak. Mr. Freak. He's super freaky. So we got 9 people on. That's pretty cool. Here, once I finish the mini slash, gonna go work on the big dog, the X-Max. Gonna see if I broke anything after my skate park bash, and then just clean it up because it's dirty as frick right now. All right, there we go. Self-bleeding shock caps right there. Super convenient when you don't really care to bleed your shocks. Now I can throw the spring back on. Because I know this shock wasn't the one that was leaking. Okay. So adjust my preload. Was that before? Because that was a good setting. Your delivery man came? Yeah, dude. He finally came, but when he came yesterday, or when he came, I was at my grandparents' house. So I wasn't able to work on his truck right away. And in case if you guys didn't know, I also got parts for this little truck right here. Right here, my first Gen Emax that I'm restoring right now. It's almost done. I got a new ESC in there because the Novak system that I originally had in here, the brushless, that ESC started smoking. So it's not, can't really drive it anymore without having the beautiful scent of burn up electronics. But I got this truck all nice and cleaned up. Right now I'm just waiting for parts. I got a new drive shaft, new shims for the A-arms because I don't have any shims. My bearings fell out. That's nice. And then a couple of other odds and ends, bumpers, then a new plate for my skid plate, and then, yeah. So I got the mail today. I got these guys in right here. I'm going to do a dual twin motor setup like it came stock, just with newer electronics. So it's kind of similar to stock. It's just with a little bit more up-to-date electronics. Because usually, if you find old electronics for sale on eBay, there's a reason why they're for sale. Unless they're super expensive, you know, they probably don't work. So that's why I got similar setup to what it had stock. It's just updated a little bit with new electronics. So it's kind of like a resto mod, if you can. I wouldn't say it's exactly like a resto mod on a full-size car, but it's kind of like that because I'm not putting in all stock electronics. I'm not restoring it to factory, but I am restoring it with upgraded parts. So there we go. Our first new shock on there. Suspension. Still a little springy if I'm being honest. I don't think this is 40 weight. Like, that's like water. Let me show you my good shock oil for my race cars. Cooler bottle. So this is 40 weight Team Associated shock oil. You can see it's a lot thicker. So I don't think that's actually 40 weight. This is 40 weight. These are both 40 weights. But if you look at that, it looks more like 15 to me. So I don't know. Because I don't want it to be like super springy or anything. But if I'm being completely honest, it is better than what was on the truck before. So I'll just run with it and then see what happens. Oh, you made it, dude. What's up, dude? I've been waiting for the FedEx guy so I can rebuild the shocks and steering link kit. Yeah, it's not fun when you want to play with your toy car, but you can't because the mailman hasn't showed up yet. We're like puppy dogs. We're like, oh, is that the mailman? Is that the mailman? Like, I swear, when I was getting my X-Max, every time someone drove by my house, I would run to the window in the kitchen and look out into the front yard and see what happens. or I'd run to the window and be like, "Oh, is that the mailman?" Nope. Oh, okay. So I got my cardio training in for the day. I got my X Max. That was a cool day. Right, pry it off with a small flat blade screwdriver. Color email traxes for the CSTs for the shock oils. Yeah, because they say this is 40 weight, but like, look at that. It's like water. I know, JB, I know you mess with the race cars. This does not look like 40 weight, does it? Because like my 30 weight doesn't even do this. So I think they might have just a different way they measure their different viscosities of fluids. They might just measure it differently, or either that or they just don't know how to measure their fluids. But if I'm being completely honest, they don't really need to because it's not like they're racing the cars or anything. Not anymore, at least. All right, so drop you guys in the oil. And, of course, got this guy, top one, that has to be difficult. Fun, interesting thing. My uncle, he's getting a new RC car today, so that's pretty cool. That's why my dad came in here. If you guys are in here earlier, that's why my dad came into my room because he was like, "You want to go with me? We're going to go get your uncle a new car." I was like, "I would, but kind of going live right now." I didn't want to do like 15-minute live and then be like, "Okay, I'm ditching out on you guys so my uncle can go get a new toy." When I already know what kind of toy he's going to get. Well, I don't really know exactly what car he's going to get, but I got a general idea, so it'll be like that. I think he's gonna be getting probably he's gonna be getting a slash 2-wheel drive, not the 4-wheel drive. Because my uncle he drove my dad's 2-wheel drive slash and he really liked it. So I think he's gonna go with that. I think he just might get a different body or something like that. Yeah, I just had that problem and had to ask for the CST for the oil that I was using. I'll probably just end up sticking to one brand moving forward. Yeah, I usually go off of Team Associated shock oils because that's what we use. Except for here recently, we've been using the TLR oils, and that car right there, not the X Max, but in this car right here, that car right there, and then that car right up there. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I've started that car, so I might fire that up today too. So I wish I had 1,000 subscribers so I can just hook up my GoPro and then go out and drive, and you guys can watch live, and that would be cool. Once I hit 1,000. Where's my tool? I'm gonna act the same way when I buy a T-Max 3.3, waiting for the mail. Yeah, like there's nothing more exciting than getting a truck that you really, really want in the mail. It's like Christmas. You have to wait for it, and then the morning that you wake up, you're like, and you're super excited. But it kind of sucks though, because it's not like Christmas where you wake up and then you go get your toy. It's you wake up and you gotta wait, which I guess makes it even more fun. But my dad, he's impatient. Like he'll like just sit there. He'll pay like extra $40 or $50 just to get it there a day sooner. That's my dad. He treats himself. Wait, Gamer Time, have you bought the truck yet? And it's coming, or are you gonna order it soon? Because like there's nothing quite as exciting as ordering a truck and then waiting. It's just a waiting game. It's like fishing or hunting. You just gotta sit there and wait. Not yet. I'm gonna order it soon. Nice. So I want you guys to put in the comments, what car do you think I should get next? Should I get a new nitro buggy. So should I get a new nitro buggy? Okay, there. Should I get a new nitro buggy, a nitro truggy, or should I get something a little less racy and more bassy, like a Haas or a Max or something like that? Because I want to get a new car. I just don't really know what car I want to get. You guys want it to be nitro or electric? You guys want it to be large scale, 10 scale, 8 scale? Want it to be Arma, Traxxas, Associated, HPI? I don't know. Want it to be a drift car, do something new, something that I've never done before, because never dealt with drift cars. So I don't know. I want to get a new car. I just don't really know what I want. There's a lot of stuff that I really want, but I can't really decide. And part of the reason why I'm getting the new car is for you guys, so you guys can watch it. And I'd be interested to figure out and see what you guys would like to see. So I'm not just getting the truck for myself to play with. I'm getting it for you guys too. 5T. Dude. I wanted one of those since I was in the 5th grade. You guys don't even know. Well, I guess I just told you, but you guys don't even know how long I've wanted that truck. Like, those trucks are so freaking cool, but they're so big. It's so heavy and just a lot of money to take care of. Like, I think A-arms for those trucks, for 2 A-arms, it's like $20. Like, it's not cheap. And I want to like drive it at the track or something. And I want to like track drive it and stuff, so I'm gonna need to get wheels, tires, exhaust, servos, maybe shocks. I know I'm gonna need new diff cases for the bearings and stuff. So just a really expensive truck to get into. But if you have the money and the means, then frick yeah. I almost caved on one, but it's so impractical. Rovin Shorty Baja. Now that's something that I could probably do because it's not big. It's 5th scale. It's got that 2-stroke in it, so it's boom, bang, pow. I can join the 5th scale brotherhood. But if I want to get a 5th scale, I also want to be able to take it to the track and stuff. Like, because if you guys don't know me, I like to bash. I like to drive out in the front yard, take it out to the field. You guys know. You guys have seen my T-Max and Revo videos and stuff. But the thing that you guys don't see, because no one really cares about it, is all the track cars over there. I take those. I go to the track maybe once or twice a month. So let's see the difference. Rear, it's definitely light for sure. I might take these back out again and put Team Associated 30 weight in it. But let's look at the front. And let's look at the back. It's not that much better, if I'm being honest, but it's definitely a lot smoother. Like you guys can hear that, right? And you guys can hear the back. It's just a lot smoother. So I don't know. Even my Truggy, I'm like, why did I buy this truck? But honestly, with the Truggy, you can fit that in with your buggy. Sure, wheels, tires, and stuff are going to be more expensive for that, but it's not like a 5th scale where it takes up half of your bed in your truck. The FedEx guy is here. Dude, there's nothing quite like mail day or delivery day. Especially of a new RC car. Parts and stuff, less exciting, if I'm being honest. But a new car, so exciting. Look at how dirty this is. That's just from one bash in the front yard and a little bit of dirt. That's how much oil and crap got on this thing. So these shocks are definitely overdue for a replacing. I was gonna say rebuild, but I already rebuilt them and it didn't do squat. I need to shoot this thing with the air compressor a little bit before I drive it. You know what? I think I'm gonna put 30 weight. Well, I'm gonna drive it and then figure out if I want heavier or if the damn things are gonna leak again. I have two, one from ground and one from express. You're living the life, dude. Alright, so on to shock set number 2. Then after this, we're working on the big dog back there, the X-Max. So, I have nothing else to say. I'm just going to leave this in the package. Put this with all my spare parts. If you guys want to see a truck or anything, or you guys want to see any car, or you guys want me to elaborate on any car that I have, I can do that. Because, I mean, I'm building shocks. There's not really much to talk about unless you guys don't know how to build shocks, and I can talk about that. You're representing the Nitro Gang? Sorry, man. Right now, we're working on the E-words. But if you want, I can put one of my Nitro Gang trucks in the background so you guys can admire that. You know what? Let's do that for the Nitro Gang. I just recently cleaned up this truck. If you guys haven't seen my T-Max video, you guys saw that this thing was completely filthy, covered in dust. Took it apart. So this thing's all dolled up now. Ready for the next bash. So this guy can sit up right here. Then we can get the other Nitro Gang member. Right here. Losi 8. OS Max. XZB. Engine in that bad boy. There you go. Nitro Gang. Right there. We need to get hybrid in the life. He'd be proud right now. He'd be like, yes, Nitro Brotherhood is still alive. So, I want you guys to comment in the chat. How many RC cars do you guys have? Do you guys, because I'd be interested to know, do you guys have more RC cars than I do or less? I think Curtis probably has more. Hi, Nancy. I think Curtis probably has more cars than I do. Maybe. I know Nitro Freak probably has more cars. JV, I'm not sure. I know you have a couple of them. Nancy has one car. Nice. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that you guys can see. And then the Revo 5, 6, or wait, hang on. Let me do this again. Math well. Full Throttle RC, he has 9. That's a healthy collection. My dad has right around 10, I believe. Let's see. You only have 5? I thought you had more. I thought you had like way more. My world is turned upside down now. Because I know you have the Revo, the Slayer, the Mini T, and the 2 race cars. Your buggies, your truggy. So that would be 5. Wait, you have 6. What's the 6th car? Because I said Revo, Slayer, Mini T, truggy, and buggy. So what would be the 6th car? Oh, your 5th scale. That big 5th scale that you got. That on-road one. Yeah. So that would be 6. I thought you had a huge old collection. Oh yeah, and your T-Max. So that'd be 7 if you didn't get rid of that Fiskell. Well, I have 21 in total. So I've been collecting them for about since I was 5, so over 10 years now. But the only bad part about liking RC so much, pretty much loving RC, is that my parents use it as a way to punish me. They'll take my cars away when I'm being stupid. But they haven't had to do that recently because I've matured. I'm a mature young adult, even though I laugh at farts and stuff still and think Family Guy's funny. My mom calls me immature because I think Family Guy's funny, but I mean, it's meant for adults, so how dumb can it be? My dad got me into the hobby at 3. Nice. I started like playing with the cars. I didn't actually start driving till I was about 4 or 5, but I started messing around with the cars when I was right around 3 as well. So it's how we do. Let me check these rear shocks, make sure they aren't being retarded and leaking. All right, so I'm not seeing any leakage. So that's fingers crossed. I'm not gonna be the damn shocks aren't gonna leak on me, leak again. Because I swear the only thing that I do not like about this little truck right here is the shocks. Like they suck on this truck. They're not very well made. They always seem to leak, even if I rebuild them right. They'll leak. And I'm building them. I'm building these how it says in the manual. Lubricate everything, make sure everything's seated properly. So, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna sue Traxxas, and I'll switch over to HPI. No, I'm just kidding. What is my fastest car? Wait, I drove his old T-Max Q5 around the yard when I was 6. Then he sold it. He had 6 T-Maxes all through his life. Nice. I only have one because I'm basic like that. And I have a Revo. So you guys can see I got 8 scale right there. Right now, I have these 2 cars out right here for the Nitro game. So we're going to be working with a lot of E-words today. What is my fastest car? I don't really have a lot of fast cars, if I'm being completely honest. I think probably the fastest would be the X-Max, either that or my Revo. But even then, the Revo isn't crazy fast. I know the X-Max will hit 45 easy. Like, I've gotten that truck up to 45 miles an hour before. Definitely. It wasn't very safe, though, because it was in a neighborhood with a bunch of kids around. I was showing off for a couple of kids across the street. I went right down the street, easy 45 miles an hour, and I'm just lucky one of the little kids didn't run out into the street. But whenever I do that with the nitros, everyone goes inside because they don't like the sound of it or the smell. And I'm like, you guys are weird. You guys are really weird. My dad got me into it too. The very first hobby truck I drove was to me a Blackfoot and an old 2-stick transmitter. Dude, that's like vintage right there. You're old school with that thing, dude. Yeah, I started driving a Duratrax Evader. That was the first car that I actually like held and stuff and pushed around in the backyard when I was 3. But the first truck I actually drove was that little thing right there. I still have it right there. Mini LST from early 2000s, I think roughly 2000, not 6. It was released sometime 2000s, but we got it towards the end of the run. Ugh. I draw the conclusion that it don't make sense that 3 of everything are more the same platform as in different brands. However, stupid me got 3 MGTs and 4 street cars. Honestly, dude, I can't really judge you because I have 2 Nitro Monster trucks, 4 electric monster trucks, 3 two-wheel drive off-road vehicles, 3 stadium trucks, two 8-scale buggies, 1 two-wheel drive 10-scale buggy, 1 4-wheel drive 10-scale buggy. No, 2 two-wheel drive 10-scale buggies. So I have 1 on-road car, 1 crawler, and then that's it. So I can't really say you're dumb for having multiple of every car, because I have multiples of each thing that I have. I have 2 8-scale buggies, 2 short course trucks, 4 monster trucks. No. 2, 3. 3 10-scale electric monster trucks, 2 nitro monster trucks. No, 4. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I have a lot of cars though that are in like roughly the same category. They're just a little bit different in some way or shape or form. What are you doing? I am rebuilding shocks on my Mini Slash because the old ones that I had were complete garbage that leaked oil all the time because I probably rebuilt them wrong or busted a seal or something. So that's what I'm doing right now. Also talking about how many RC cars we have. So that's it. Tell you what though, I wish I had an on-road car. That's one thing that I don't have. I have a ton of off-road cars, but I don't have one on-road. Well, I do have one on-road, but that is a mini, so I don't really count that because I can't really drive it on the road. I can drive it on carpet, really short carpet. I can drive it on hardwood floor, but I can't really drive it in the road because it's too small. I'm thinking about buying either a used Fortec or maybe getting something kind of like that. Maybe an electric touring car. I've been thinking about getting like a little Tamiya kit, like one of their cheap $120 chip kits, something like that. Out in the street because I don't need it like no $500 race car just to goof around in the street with it. But I do want to get into Tamiya kits, specifically their on-road Tamiya kits, so I can say I have one on-road car, but that car will probably be mostly a display car because I don't really drive on the street too often, and even when I do, it's with the off-road car. Is 70 kilometers fast? Well, I don't really know. I don't know the conversion from kilometers to miles an hour because I am American. So we use our own system it's different from everywhere else. So I can't really tell you because we're different like that. Tell you what, let's Google it. Let's see. Google, my friend. You can see right here. This is one of the cars that I was thinking about getting. It's only $120. It's not super expensive. But back to what you were talking about. Mile per hour to kilometer an hour. So, wait. Kilometer. Oh, 44 miles an hour. What I mean is, I should have bought a different type rather than keep investing in something that I already have. But most of what I have are scratch built out of the parts that I acquired. That's pretty cool. 44 miles an hour. That is not slow. That is not slow. Like 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. Okay, that's a little bit on the slow side for RC nowadays. But 44 miles an hour, that is not slow at all. That's plenty fast. Especially if it's like an off-road car. That is plenty fast. But I do want to get into on-road. I kind of want to get a Fortec, one of the... I kind of want to get like a Fortec or something, do like a little bit of a brushless street build with it. Like, it'll go fast, but it's not a specific speed car. Like, I can take it out into a parking lot, go buck wild with it, treading tires and stuff. What is the car you showed us? This truck right here? This truck right here is a Traxxas 1/16 scale slash, roughly 10 years. The thing is durable as all get out. Haven't had I think I've only replaced one A-arm out of the 10 years that I've had it. One spur gear, replaced the knuckles once because the ones that I originally had on it were 10 years old and wore out. So, oh, in my phone. That is a Tamiya TT02 on-road car. I kind of want to get it just because I want an on-road car, just for the lulz. But I don't have 120 bucks laying around right now. So I'll probably have to wait till next month if I do want to get it. But I need to spend another 15 bucks now so I can put my brushless system. Whoop, I almost fell. I need a receiver right now for this car so I can put my brushless system in it. So I'm going to be buying one of those receivers here pretty soon. So that way I can shred that little mini bee over there. Because that little motor changes that freaking car. Like right now, it's fun inside. Kind of boring outside because of how slow it is. But you put that brushless system in there, sure, it only does 26 miles an hour with that thing, but for a car that small, it feels freaking fast. It's awesome. I'm excited to get that. Can you show me? Yes, I can. Right there, so you guys can see. Well, Nancy wants to see the car. Let me kind of turn my light away so you guys can see it a little bit better. It's a little. There you go. So you can see it's a Mustang. Looks pretty cool. I'll probably paint mine either white or black. I'll paint it black to look like my uncle's Mustang. His is a little bit older generation, but same thing. Where do they sell those cars? This is right here is on A-Main Hobbies. Pretty much for me, I only really trust these. I only really trust A-Main to buy my cars off of online. That, and occasionally I'll do eBay to pick up parts or something. But other than that, I don't really try anything else because I don't really care to. A-Main is one of the best in the industry for reliability and stuff. They'll let you know what's going on. If they can't ship out your stuff, they'll let you know. So that's why I use them. I've never tried Tower Hobbies or anything like that. But Tower Hobbies pretty much mimics A-Main, or well, at least their website mimics A-Main. Dude, you're gonna get that car put together. And you're gonna be like, "Thanks, FedEx guy. You're making my dreams come true. I love you." And the FedEx guy's gonna be like, "Whoa, dog! I just gave you a package. I don't need one of your pee pills to be in there." I don't know what I'm saying. Lol. There's this lady that commented on one of my videos how my language was appalling, and how she'll never let her kids watch my videos again. And I'm like, you sure about that? Because I know a couple of people that talk like sailors compared to me. All right, there we go. So there we go. All the shocks on that shock doesn't feel too great. There we go. That one feels good. This one feels just a little bit rough. I think the air just needs to bleed out of them. That one feels good. I don't see any leaks so far. Fingers crossed. So I give the S-Bucks cards, that Starbucks cards. I may be 17, but I don't know hardly any lingo. Because I spend most of my time either on YouTube watching RC car stuff, full-size car stuff, dirt bike stuff, or I'm watching TV. Or I'm doing stuff like this. So let's put the wheels and tires on and drop it. And if the thing bottoms out just from dropping it, then I'm taking all these off again and putting in thicker oil, or putting in my oil that I use. Because I will not sit here and rebuild my shocks just for the truck to bottom out constantly all the time like it used to. Got 8 people on. You guys are legends. I know, JV, you are a teacher, so you have your summer off right now. That's why you're going to the track all the time. You weirdo. I'm just kidding. But honestly, my summer hasn't really been that great. Because my sister, she's got like this lamb. She's raising an animal for FFA. So we're not really able to go anywhere too much, which I'm okay with. Because I don't really care to go anywhere. Like going out to eat, hate it. Don't like going out to eat. Why sit there, spend more money just so you can wait for your food to be delivered to you by people you don't know? You can just stay at home, make your own food, know what's in it. So that's just my thought. Mom's like, you need to go out and eat. I'm like, no, I just eat a sandwich at home. God. How does it look like? How does it look like? Well, how does what look like? That car that I showed you, this truck, that truck over there, that car over there. Do you have a driver's license? No. I am currently working on it right now. I'm going to driving school every Saturday. I got my first session done last week, so this week will be my second. Then next week will be my third. Then after that will be my fourth. And then I can go take my written test, get my permit, have that for 6 months, and then I'll be good. All right. So it is still bottoming out. Oh, well, that could be why. The kids walking to school now these days cuss more than I do. Ha. Yeah, some of the kids I go to school with, they talk like sailors. They don't care. But if I'm being completely honest, I cuss when I'm with my friends, but not like every single sentence like some of these other guys do. Oh, the app. Well, it's not an app. It's a website. You just Google AMain. Here, let me show you. So you just go to Google or whatever search browser you like to use. Let me sit over here so you guys can see. Search up AMain. One of my first things that always pops up. AMain Hobbies right there. And then bam. They got all kinds of stuff. Helicopters, boats. I usually go here into cars and trucks. Look at engines and all kinds of stuff. Kits. And then that'll show you where. That can show you like the parts and stuff that you want to get. So it is very reliable when looking at parts. Plus, they're the most consistent with their like prices and stuff. because they're one of the best in the industry, so they know when they need to get parts and stuff. All right. All right. So that feels a little bit better. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than before. So I'm going to put the battery on the charger and drive it here in a little bit. Shoot, if anything, I can figure out a way to take you guys out into my backyard. You can drive back there and show you guys if you guys want. That probably won't be until I finish up with the X-Max at least. So, look at that. New shocks are on. They're properly built. Lubricated everything and stuff, so they should be good. I'm going to be really PO'd if they leak, though. Because I spent an hour and 11 minutes on them. They don't really feel super nice, but I can't really complain. They're $16 shocks, so. Now, if these shocks felt like that car, like the shocks on that car right there, then I'd be a little bit more PO'd, because, like, shocks on that car, that yellow car right there, are not cheap. So, there's one thing done for today. So, we can check that off the list. I'm really excited to drive this thing. I hope this thing doesn't drive like garbage like how it used to. Because before that car was so hard to drive because of how much it would sway and stuff with no oil in there. It would just be, and it would take off in any direction. Whoa, jet's blowing up. Grease them shock O-rings, girl. Yeah, I didn't do that for the first rear shock, and like after 2 minutes they started leaking. So I was like, okay, I'm building you right this time. Hi, Nancy. Wait, why did your profile picture change a little bit? Is there a version of the yellow car? An E version? Yes. There is an E version of this car. It's the Losi 8 4.0E. Or Losi 8E 4.0. There's an E in the name. And this is actually an older car right here. They actually have a newer generation out, the Losi 8XE. Which that's the car that I want to get to replace this car right here, because that car is like really old right there. I don't hardly drive that thing anymore. And then I want to get the Losi 8X to replace that car. And then, well, I heard TLR is coming out. They're already working on a revised version of the Losi 8X, so they're probably going to be Losi 8X 2.0, something like that. I don't know. But I do want to get a new 8-scale buggies eventually. As long as it rebounds up and not stay flat down when the air compressed. Yeah. Well, for my shocks, they did that. It's just there was no oil in them, so they would just the truck would just bounce around everywhere, and it was really difficult to drive because of how much it swayed and stuff. Let me put my battery on the charger. Down here, putting my charger thing. My charger's below my desk. If you guys were wondering. You guys probably can't even hear me that well. Alright, I'm back. I do not, is it? I don't really know what that means. Boing, 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 boing. Reminds me of that Ice Age thing. Where it goes boing, 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 boing. So we have some oil now. That's like water, pretty much. So, oh, I did not see it. Okay. It's 52 miles fast for an RC car. Yeah, that's plenty fast, especially if it's an off-road car. That's plenty fast for an RC car. So let's throw these in my junk drawer, extra parts drawer. You never know when you might need a new, like a O-ring or something, because It's always nice to have like old extra parts that are still in decent condition, so that way you're not constantly buying parts. So, actually, I'm not gonna work on the X-Max yet. I'm gonna work on the E-Max, so that thing needs more. The thing needs a little bit more love because that thing doesn't even move under its own power yet. Yeah, that is definitely fast enough to break something. All right, here we go. We got a little bit bigger. It's like we're working our way up. So we had the Mini right here. This little guy right here. Now we're working to this guy right here. And then we're going to go to that guy. Which let's give you a good size comparison. Ugh. So yeah, this truck is not small. For sure. Look at this. Teeny tiny. Oh, something fell out. 20 pounds is not light, is it? Well, it's not light when you're not that strong. Did I lose my bearing? Yes, I did. That's fantastic. It's 52 kilometers fast for an RC car. Well, 70 was like 40, so I'm assuming 52 is like 30-ish, maybe 20-ish. I don't know. But, I mean, as long as you have fun with it. Fast for an RC Carl. Carl Jacobs for Mr. Beast. I still have my bearing kit. So I have E-Max bearings. Oh, you did not see the app. Okay, hang on. Doing something really quick right here. That freaking hub is so old, it doesn't hold the bearings. You're Mr. Beast? Oh, for sure. Definitely. 1000% you are. Alright, so that fit in there. Then. Oh! I just kicked the bearing. That's okay. It's all old. You capping, bro. I knew you were capping. I know Mr. Beast isn't named Nancy. Honestly, probably one of the best paying jobs in the world is being Mr. Beast's friend. Oh. Nice. Okay, so this bearing will work. Time to get to work, fellas. Oh yeah, I also have a sparkler in my room for no reason. Because why not? I mean, fire hazard? I think so. Because I like fire. Better not enough fire than too much fire. You did not see the app. Well, it's not really an app. If you just go onto Google and search up Aiming Hobbies, it'll take you directly to it. And then you can just search through there. It's pretty easy. It's not that hard. Just gotta Google it. Google helps everything. Google will solve world's problems. Mr. Beast will send all of his burgers. Hey, has anyone tried Mr. Beast burgers? Because I know there's one here in California, but I'm not sure exactly where it's at. Because I'm not cool like that. So the electronics that I have in this truck are actually Summit electronics. They came out of a Traxxas Summit. And one of the guys in the Discord, Aldo, also known as Chippy, he actually got one. So I was like, hey, it's cool. I have a sort of Summit in here because I mean this thing has a high low, but it's not as cool. The diffs don't lock, so I'm kind of disappointed at that. All I'm doing with this truck right here is pretty much just screwing in these motors so it looks a little cooler. And then that's it. I know where this one is, but SF. In San Francisco, but I'm not hip enough to hang out in the city. If I'm being completely honest, I'm like an old man. Like, I hate traffic. I'd rather stay local than go to a big city. Like, even Bakersfield is like, it's all this traffic. It's annoying. I'm like an old man. My dad tells me that I'm an 80-year-old man trapped in a 17-year-old's body. I'm like, you got that right, for sure. I hate waiting in lines. I don't really care to go out to dinner. If I don't really care to listen to your story, I'll tell you. So, I mean, he's not wrong. I had a blast being in the middle of nowhere for Madera for CVR. Dude, if it were up to me, all of our vacations would include some sort of RC track or we'd go canoeing. So, yeah, I'd much rather like go out and ride dirt bikes with my friends than go to some fancy shop in a big city. There you go. Do you right there. Dude, this thing looks cool as frick with these motors in here. It's like he's like flexing. It's like having two turbos on your car. You're just, yeah, I'm fast and I know it. Eat my shorts. You guys know where that's from? Please tell me you guys know where that's from. I will be thoroughly disappointed in my audience if you guys don't know where Eat My Shorts is from. I will sue all of you guys right now. I have a imaginary lawyer. That's pretty good. JBR Well was a blast minus. Yeah, I would not have enjoyed it that much if it was that freaking hot. Like, I hate the heat. Even though I'm used to it, I hate it. It makes things that are enjoyable not that enjoyable. We live in a farming community. We don't like traffic. Dude, yes. Living in Wasco, pretty much the Central Valley. If you hate traffic, that's the place to live. Because, like, there isn't hardly traffic. Wasco, Shafter, McFarland, Fresno, all those areas, they're like, do you hate traffic? Then live here, because we don't have any. You're like, yeah. All right, boom. How pimp does this look? That looks really cool, if I'm being honest. Dual motors. Yes, Curtis. You are the most epic human I know right now. Like, you're next level, dude. I don't even know what else to say to you. My guy flamed out like 3 times in his main. But I was telling myself I'm too fat and it's too hot for this. Honestly, dude, like, if it's like 90 degrees, then I do not want to drive RC cars. Like, it's too hot for me to drive RC cars if it's like 90. 80 degrees, I'm fine with. But like 90 degrees plus, I'm like, nope, I'll sit inside. Because, like, I don't really care. Where are my zip ties? Did my dad steal my zip ties? I think my dad stole my zip ties. I hate having messy cables. Like, I hate it with a passion. I do not like messy cables or dirty cars. Look at that. Look at how smart I am. I use a zip tie to hold my zip ties. Only a genius would think of something like that. Either a genius or a moron, which I'm okay with being either. Where are you from? It looks like you are in California. Oh yeah, I'm in California. I'm a Cali boy right now. Why do I say right now? I'm gonna stay a Cali boy. I don't think I'm ever gonna live out of state. How should I shorten these wires? Should I just do this? How should I route this so it looks nice and presentable? How fast is the RC car in the app? You're talking about that Mustang that I showed you? It's not fast even a little bit. It's pretty slow if I'm being completely honest. It does like maybe 20 on a good day. We live in the nut country of the world. Yeah. Pretty much in this area it's all you can easily get a job working out in the orchards, which is what most people do in this area. Especially among field workers and stuff that live here. I take it no one has nut allergies where you live. Well, actually, JV, I live like maybe an hour, maybe not even an hour away from Curtis. He lives a couple towns over. How you been? I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good. I've been doing summer school. Luckily, summer school ended not too long ago. So I've kind of just been sitting at home doing nothing, hanging out with my friends at a farm that my sister goes to every single night. I only go there when I want. She has to go there no matter what, because she spent $400 on an animal that she gets to raise and sell at a fair. There. What do you guys think of this? Hold it. I swear. It's like, I don't think. Did that bearing fall out again? Are you kidding me? Dude, I'm damn near ready to freaking zip tie or super glue that freaking bearing in there. I don't want to do that because I need to take it out. All right, so we got that little area done. Let's get this side. This side of the Mississippi, boy. What are you doing on this side of the Mississippi, boy? It's fun to talk like that. It's like I'm a farmer from the South. Can you guess where? The orange and olives, dude, that's over in Porterville for sure. That's Porterville. Around my grandpa's house, he lives in Porterville. It's nothing but oranges out there. Which works out good for me because you got a lot of vitamin C in our area. Or well, in my grandpa's area. Yeah, come on. All right, there we go. Got the wires routed nice and kind of neat. There you go. What do you guys think of this? How does that look? Looks kind of pimp to me, dude. This honestly looks a lot cooler than one motor. Look at that. It's pretty cool. What do you say so myself? Got this EVX2 in here. Literally all of these electronics are parts that I either bought, such as the motor and the ESC, or that came out of old cars, such as the servos and the receiver. Saving money, dude. Well, not really, because I had to buy. This ESC, dude, was freaking expensive. They wanted close to $200 for one. So I went on to eBay and got one for $80. So why do I want it? All right, I want to answer Nancy's question first. The reason why I want the reason why I want that sedan, that Mustang that I was showing you guys, the Tamiya Mustang, is honestly just because I want to have an on-road car. I don't really care about how fast it goes. I just want one so I can put it on in front of my house on the street or take it to a parking lot that's down my street and kind of play with it over there. I don't really care about how fast my cars go. I care about how fun they are to drive. So if it goes 20 miles an hour, but it's a lot of fun to drive, then I'll take that over a car that goes 100 miles an hour, but it's not that fun to drive. So yeah, that's pretty much why I want it. I just bought a used Revo 3.3 and I'm having a difficult time tuning it. Any suggestions? What you could do is, yeah, JV's right. You can join the Discord that we have, and there's a bunch of very knowledgeable people on there that'll tune, such as JV. He's even helped me out with tuning a couple of times. Mainly just the idle. It is too high. Oh, so if your idle's too high, you can lower your idle with your idle mixture screw, or you can richen your low speed needle. That'll also help out with lowering your idle. If you want to raise your idle, you can either raise your idle through your idle screw, or you can lean the bottom end. That'll work. But if you want to lower your idle, it's pretty much the reverse version of that. Just counterclockwise on both of your low speed and your idle screw. I would honestly lower it with your idle screw first, so that way you don't lose any bottom end so that way you don't lose any of your bottom end. But you could do it the opposite and lower your bottom end, so that way you can go either way, really. I'm going to witch your voice. I don't know what that really means. You have a Rustler 2.5. I honestly thought about buying a Rustler 2.5. Those trucks seem like pretty fun. Those trucks seem like they'd be a lot of fun to just take out into your backyard or something. That is the reason why I have street cars. I can just walk out. You can just walk out your door and give it a rip, and they are cheap and easy to fix. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. No problem. I'm always down to help someone out. Are my shocks leaking? They're not. Look at that. You guys, I'm a mechanic. I'm just kidding. I just know how to put stuff together. So I guess you can call them mechanics, since they are shrunk down versions of cars. You know what I hate? When people look at something like this and they see like a Walmart car. That bugs me, because I'm like, you don't even know what these trucks can do. But whenever someone sees an electric RC car, even if it is hobby grade, they automatically think it's like a Walmart car. But when they see a nitro, they're like, oh my God, it's so cool. How fast does it go? They act like they've never seen anything like it before, which some people haven't. So I'm not like a jerk to people when they ask questions about the cars. But it always is funny to me when people look at an electric and think it's stupid and toy grade, but they see a nitro and they're like, so the 2.5s are more reliable to tune. I'm going to watch your video. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can say this. So let me scoot this guy out of the way. Dude, I am productive as frick today. Like, usually right around this time, it'll be like my 4th or 5th hour watching TV. But I was like, you know what? I don't have anything to do today. I've been watching a lot of TV. May as well go do some stuff. But in my defense, it has been freaking hot outside. So, yeah. I thought it's not Walmart. That thing was $400 in the 90s. Yeah, no kidding. So this is this is what I use in a 2.5. This is how I get my experience with my 2.5. Just 2.5R. Some people say it's just a different cooling head, but I looked it up, and apparently they do a little bit different porting in the sleeve to allow more air. So I think that's why this gets the fancy blue head on it, because it's a little bit more of an aggressive porting job on it. But I honestly think that the 2.5 is just as reliable as the 3.3. But if you guys saw my Revo video where I put that OS carburetor on it, completely changed how that engine tuned and all that stuff. Like, that engine was completely different with that OS carburetor on it. Like, JV, you're a freaking genius, because that's the reason why I bought that carburetor. Or, well, that's the reason why my dad bought that carburetor, because his engine, his 3.3 wasn't running right. So I was like, hey, one of the guys on the Discord knows about this OS carburetor that'll fit that engine. Apparently it runs way better. And he was right. The engine tuned way better. It was way easier to tune. It tuned a lot more like a race engine, which some people say those are harder to tune. But honestly, if you just kind of do very slight adjustments, it's the same thing. It's just not as big of adjustments. But, I mean, Traxxas have been around for how long now? So that should show you that they're doing something right. Their carburetors may not be that great, but their engines do make power, so not as much power as the big block. Oh, for all you nitro guys out there, for all you nitro homies, would you guys like to see me big block the Revo? OS makes a OS 21 TM that'll drop right into this truck, and you get that big boy power. So comment down below if you guys want to see that. I'll do that once the Street 3 dies. But honestly, my dad has gone through quite a few 3.3s, but that's just because he's had really bad luck with them. This is going to be my like 4th or 5th year with that 2.5 in my T-Max. So pretty much just depends on how you run them and all that stuff. Man, this Revo is freaking cool. Look at it. Look at this. It's like this. Oh, frick. Hang on. Look at this. The Revo is like the granddaddy of this truck. That's how it got its inboard suspension off of this truck. Well, not this specific truck. They made a truck before this with a 2.5R in it. And that's where the inboard suspension came from. What was that? Alright, so we'll put this guy up. I don't know why I made those sounds. But, dude, look at how pimp this looks. Like, this looks cool as frick. Alright, so let's get caught up. Do the screw drive tip turns at a time. If I big blocked mine, it would involve getting a bump box. Yeah. My dad had trouble starting that OS engine. Did you know that that little Revo was in Fast and Furious 5? Really? It was a little RC car that they used to look at the big money safe. Let's look at that, because I did not know that. I've seen all those Fast and Furious movies a ton, and I never noticed that. Either I did notice that and I forgot about it, or I just never noticed it. Revo, Fast. So I put Dast. I put Rico Dast. Weirdly, that there are search results for that. Dang it, I want to see this now. All right, what's the clip? Big money safe. Safe. Not the ending. Vault scene. You know what? I want to look at this later because I really want to see a Revo in a big movie. Then I'll feel like I own that truck. I'm cool. You know, that's what I do. You can tell by the steering servo and speed control and Revo rocker arms. All right, I'm looking at that. I'm definitely gonna look at that. But I think here in a little bit I want to call it because I'm getting kind of hungry. I've been on here for what? Close to almost an hour, 45 minutes, which is honestly longer than most of my streams. Full throttle. I never seen it either. Notice. Good catch. That's how you know you're a true RC fan when you like, wait, that looks familiar. Like me and my cousin, he likes RC cars too. He doesn't really drive them too much, but he likes them. And anytime there's like an RC car in a movie or something, he's like, "Oh, it's so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah." So these are going to be the batteries that I'm going to run the truck on, because a regular 2-cell LiPo won't fit in that truck. The trays are too small, but these will fit. And these are actually the batteries from the Easy Start. These came out of the Easy Start, so look at that. They fit right in. Look at that. They fit right in there. I would put 2S LiPos in here, but they're just too big. Even though 2S LiPos aren't that big. Before, when this truck came out, 2S LiPos were like crazy amounts of power. Nowadays, this little thing runs off of 2S LiPos. So, all right. So I think my battery's in charging. What should I do? You guys want to see me run this thing in the backyard a little bit? I'll probably have to pick up dog poop or something like that, but I can go maybe run this thing in the backyard if you guys want to see. I'll have to cover the camera up because I'll have to cover the camera when I'm walking outside because my mom doesn't like it when people see our not very messy house because she thinks it's super messy. I'm working on a brand new Revo right now. I haven't broken it in yet, but she got single servo. Ooh, send it servos. I've never tried a send it servo. I'll have to try one out. Sway bars, RPM true track, THS pipe, Revo Platinum receiver box. I've been meaning to ask someone, is the Revo Platinum receiver box the same one that's in the Slayer? Because I want to get the receiver box, and then I also want to get the servo mount just to get rid of those big boxes on the chassis. So, Mr. No Name, if you know, let me know. I was not a fan of the movies that came after the first one. They started to become stupid and scenes. Yeah, Curtis, I like 1 through 4. No, 1 through 5. I like the Fast and Furious 1 through 5 movies. 6 and on, like the the stunts they were doing and stuff, it just became unrealistic. It wasn't that. It wasn't. It was like, really, would this really happen? But the first 1 through 5, 4 and 5 started like pushing their stunts and stuff, but it wasn't like as stupid big as they are now. Like this new Fast and Furious 9 movie, like legit, Dom jumps off a freaking cliff, turns his wheel, and it just so happens to like latch into his wheel so he can swing across. Like, yeah, totally. If you were to do that in real life, it'd totally latch and you wouldn't fall out of the sky. Like, think with your head. Is it possible to put a TRX 3.3 engine in a racing buggy? If you made custom mounts, then yes. If you made custom mounts, because the way those engines are designed, they're really unique. They don't, the way that they have those engine mounts designed in the blocks, they're really close together. So the engine mounts on a buggy are meant for a 21 and bigger, but the Traxxas engines, the 3.3 is a 0.20 and the 2.5 is a 0.15 in cubic inches. So you could probably like make custom mounts for them and put it in there if you really wanted to. But I honestly think just picking up one of those $95 Dynamite engines, one of these engines right here, would probably be your best bet, because like these things are reliable as frick. Like I've never had a day with that Dynamite 21 where it wouldn't start or it was hard to start. Like stick that thing up on a bump box and you got it primed and stuff, fire up, no problem. They put cars in impossible moves. Yes, that's exactly what they do. Like they make cars do things that an RC car would do, but a 3,000-4,000 pound car it'd be pretty tough to do unless you were in a movie, which they are. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the Fast and Furious 9 movie when it comes out, like to stream it. But I don't have super big expectations for that movie. To me, it seems like over the top and kind of a lazy storyline with Dom finding his long lost brother, or Dom finding his brother that you never heard about in the movies and any of the other movies at all. So I think the storyline is kind of lame too, but I'll give it a chance if it's. Hopefully, it's not as bad as I think it's gonna be. I'll have to try Syndit servos, because the 3 main servos that I use are Savox servos, Traxxas servos. Well, I don't really use 3. I only use 2. Traxxas servos and Savox servos. That's really it. I love Savox servos in my race cars, but if it's not going around a track or it doesn't need a super high-end servo, I'll either keep it stock or throw in a Traxxas servo, depending on the car. Like all my Traxxas cars, except for my Slash, those have Traxxas servos in it. It's no big deal. But, all right, so my battery is charged. Benefits of having a really nice charger. Let me send a picture to my dad, because this truck right here was actually his. The E-Max was actually his back when I was a baby, and he really wants to get this thing going. All right, there we go. Let me put this guy back. Ugh. Tell you what, man, I'm happy with that E-Max. It's turning out really good. Plus, it looks pretty cool with that dual motor setup in there, if I'm being honest. All right. So, I'm like a wizard. I disappear and come back. You don't even know. So, I'm hoping. I don't know. Should I just. I don't know what I want to do, because it's 97 degrees outside right now. And with electrics, if you pretty much running anything over 80, it's gonna get hot fast. So I don't really want to do that. That thing get too hot. But you only need the 458 steering. Overkill for a 10th. Yeah. If you get too, I don't want to say too good, but too powerful of a servo in a 10th scale, it can make the car like really twitchy and almost undrivable because of how freaking twitchy it is. Are you serious? Okay, so now that I'm live, after getting this truck started, no problem for the past 3 weeks. Now that I'm live, it decides, hey, there's something wrong with me. Mini slash, plug you in, press the button. Is my battery dead or something? I charged it. No. Oh. The battery got charged to 4.30 volts instead of 420. So that might be why it's not working right now. So let me put that thing in the checker so it'll discharge a little bit. We're at 12 people now. Hello, 12th person. So we're really close to the end of the live stream. Not ending it right now, but we're pretty darn close. Just gotta let my battery discharge a little bit, and then we are good to go. You missed it, Daniel. I was working on this mini slash, putting in new shocks, and I was working on my new Emax. Well, not really new, but working on it. Well, it is kind of new, but not that new. I had it for close to a month now. It's just a work in progress. Doesn't take that long to do, but it takes a while to get the parts. Ugh, I'm tired. Take a quick little gander at the 8 scale. I know some of you guys are 8 scale guys out there. Got my nice OS Max in here, dude. This engine is insane. I still have trouble with it returning to idle, though. So I'm going to have to run it more. Figure out the issue. I don't think it's anything wrong with the engine. I think it's just tuning and braking. What's the RC that you have the most fun with? I'm getting bored of my slash and in the market for a new car. Dual T-Max are a little better than those, but that's just my opinion. Well, okay, one at a time. So let me answer Cali Leanin. Oh, Cali Lean. That's where the truck's all cello. Honestly, for me, the car that I have most fun with is the car that I'm in the mood with to drive. So, like, if I'm out so some days I wake up, do all my regular stuff. Then I want to drive an RC car. Sometimes I'm in the mood to go take the Revo out or take the T-Max out and go drive it out in the field. But some days I don't want to drive out. I don't want to go bashing at all. And I want to go to the track and drive on the track. So it honestly just depends on what you want to do. Would you like to get a little bit more into hardcore bashing, like doing backflips and stuff, jumping ridiculous heights? Then you could probably go with maybe a Max, a Traxxas Max, maybe an Arrma Big Rock or something like that if you want like a monster truck. Or if you're more interested in going to the track, or if you have a track near you, then you can maybe go for, there's a new buggy out from Team Associated that's ready to run. That's plug in a battery and go take it to the track. So you can do that. Of course, you can go all out. Get yourself a big boy X-Max. Those things are fun pretty much anywhere you take them. So it really just depends on what you want to do. I wouldn't say get this car. It is fun. It really just depends what you want to do. Like Traxxas Stampede 2-wheel drive, that truck is amazing in a small field, like with a couple of little jumps and stuff. The 2-wheel drive Stampede is a lot of fun, and it's not expensive, and parts are cheap. This shares a lot of parts with the Slash, so you can do that too. So I got a feeling you kind of want like a monster truck or something. So maybe the Stampede 2-wheel drive, because I have a lot of fun with my Stampede 2-wheel drive. It's a lot of fun out in a small field. So really just depends. I like the old T-Max wheels better than those ones. That's just my opinion. Honestly, I like those a lot better too. The reason why I don't have those on is because the ones that were originally on the truck, they sat on the truck for 12 years and they got flat spots in the foams and stuff. So it was whenever I got the truck up into second gear and high speed, the whole truck would start shaking because of all the vibrations from the unbalanced tires. So that's why I have those newer tires on, because they just drive a lot better. T-Max tires are nice. They're perfect size for all-around terrain. I like them too. Yeah, I wish there was a track near me. The last one shut down. Running in the street in front of my house just gets boring. Well, if you're tired of running in the street, you can go to Walmart, pick yourself up a couple of plastic ramps, and use that. Like, that'll make it tons more fun. And you don't need like super big ones so you can get 15 foot of air like we do with the X-Maxes, but jumping is a lot of fun. So you might not need a car, you just might need a new place to drive. But I know you can pick up a couple of ramps from like Walmart or something really cheap for like $50 each. Make yourself a sick little bash spot in your front yard. So that'll be cool. It really just depends what you want to do. Like, I have tons of cars for tons of different things. I have race cars, I have bashers, I have extreme bashers, I have mild bashers. So okay. So the Mini Slash is not having it today. It's not happy with me. I think I might have overcharged the battery a little bit. I have the end voltage set at 4.30 volts instead of regular 4.20. So I just need to let it sit here for a little bit. Have you ever been to Silver Raceway? No, I've never been to a true 8-scale track. I've been to a 5th-scale track before. Drove my 8 scales up there. But I want to go to either CBR over by Madera, I think. I think that's where JB went a couple weekends ago. Or I want to go to Thunder Alley, which is down south. Madera is up north from me. I'm like right in the center of California, so I can go either way. It won't be too big of a difference. I need to buy some new Traxxas Chevron tires. 2 sets of them for 2 MGTs. Oh yeah. Honestly, the Chevron tires, they sound really cool, like on the street, like the sound they make when they rumble against the road, just. So I think I'm going to call it here. We're 30 seconds away from hitting the 2-hour mark. I know for some of you Nitro Freak fans, that's like hardly anything. I mean, that guy can go live 6-7 hours, which is insane to me. But I think I'm going to call him hungry. I'm going to go eat lunch. And if you guys want, David RC, what's up, man? Sorry, you're getting on right at the end of the stream. But we had a productive day. I didn't do a bunch of work, but I did a little bit something to my first gen Emax. For those of you guys that you didn't see really quick. I've put in these motors right here, plugged them up, and did some cable management to the Emax. And then with this truck, I put on completely new shocks, rebuild those. Not rebuilt them, but built them properly. So yeah, that's what happened. Once I finish, you guys can like rewatch it or something like that. Cali Lean, subscribe. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out some of my other videos if you guys haven't seen them yet. I know some of you guys have seen close to every video I have, but I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. In stream.